Jade, we heard from Donald Trump earlier. He described this as an hour of anguish for the US, but he also shared his theory about what went wrong. You were in the White House press briefing. What exactly did he say?
Well, this was the President addressed a packed briefing room here at the White House. He began with a moment of silence for the victims of this crash and their families. He said that this had been a dark and excruciating night for this city of Washington, D.C., but also for the United States more generally. The President acknowledged in these remarks that investigations were now underway, that a cause was not yet known, but he then very quickly moved on to pointing the finger in a number of different directions. He argued that the military helicopter, the Black Hawk helicopter involved in this crash, that it was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He questioned how that could have happened given that it was a clear night here in Washington. He said that the passenger jet was following a very common path as it approached the runway at Reagan National Airport. The President also said that he wasn't blaming air traffic controllers, but at the same time argued that hiring policies in the federal government, programs aimed at promoting diversity and inclusion, something that Donald Trump has really set about trying to dismantle since he returned to the White House, that those policies had compromised safety standards within the Federal Aviation Administration. The President was pushed on that point, pushed by reporters in the room on what evidence he was basing that on, what information he had to make that connection. He wouldn't provide any specifics. This is some of what he had to say.
Because I have common sense, okay, and unfortunately a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers.
And Donald Trump also argued in that press conference that it was a time for Americans to put their political differences aside. But at the same time, he had very sharp criticisms of his predecessor, Joe Biden, of his administration, and of his Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, in particular, arguing that he had run his department into the ground. Mr. Buttigieg has responded today, rejecting those claims, describing Mr. Trump's remarks as despicable. We've also heard from the Democrats' leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer. He has posted to social media saying it's one thing for internet pundits to spew up conspiracy theories. It's another for the President of the United States to throw out idle speculation, even as victims are still being recovered and families are still being notified. So, Emma, not even 24 hours into this tragedy, the stark political divisions in this country are on display yet again.